Today I've got 5 beginning guitar tips for you. If you're new here, I'm Jake from Guitar Gym Pro, and before we dive in, if you're struggling with bar chords, there's a link in the description. Get a free video guide from me telling you how to play bar chords confidently in about 5 minutes. Tip number 1. If it sounds good, it is good. I'm gonna tell you how I think that you should hold the pick or play with your left hand or strum a particular passage. And you're gonna find tons of videos online doing the exact same thing. Everybody's gonna have an opinion, but here's the truth. If it sounds good, it is good. Now, if it's hurting you to play a certain way, don't do that. If you can't execute what you want because of the way you're holding your pick, you're gonna need to change it. But if you're able to confidently, cleanly, and with a great sound, produce what you want to, what you're doing is correct. There are so many people who play with so many different kinds of picks. I love thick picks. I'm gonna tell every student I have to play with a thick pick. I think it helps you develop technique more quickly. I think it gives you better control over the dynamics. But there are a ton of amazing players who play with thin picks. I always play with a downward attack when I'm picking. My pick's slightly angled forward. But guys like George Benson and Robin Ford have a completely different pick angle, and George Benson can definitely play faster than I can. The point is, if it sounds good, it is good. Don't worry so much about trying to do the exact right thing. Settle on one thing that works and keep following that and keep making sure you're getting better at it. Number 2, start learning things by ear right away. When you're practicing, when you're listening to music, if there's anything you recognize, pause what you're doing and learn it by ear. Music is an aural, meaning an ear, art. It's all about what you hear. And so many people get caught up trying to read things, learn tabs, see the chords over lyrics, learn to read sheet music, all of which are great. But it's primarily about being able to play what you hear in your mind. And the best way to be able to play what you hear in your mind is to be able to play what you hear with your ears that somebody else is playing. So when you learn a few chords, find a song that has those few chords and try to figure out where they go. If you're plucking around and you hear, hey, I think that's the first 3 notes of this song, try to see if you can figure out the next few. That is the best kind of practice you can do as a guitar player. 3, have a goal and have a specific goal. So I want to be able to shred, or I want to be able to take a blues solo, or I want to be able to, you name it. Those are great goals, but being able to say, I want to be able to play the solo from Crazy Train at tempo. I want to be able to improvise over a 12-bar blues at a jam confidently. Those are things that are much more specific, and you can take steps towards doing it. If you want to be able to play a solo at a jam, not only do you need to learn how to play the right scales, you need to know a few licks, you need to know the song and the form, but you also have to be ready to get up in front of other people at a jam and play. Knowing that means that we can accomplish that goal because we can put our energy towards it. If we want to learn the solo for Crazy Train, we know exactly how fast we need to play and what techniques we need to use. 4, there is no bad time to spend with your guitar. Get it out, set it on a stand, and when you walk by it, pick it up and strum. I am encouraging noodling here. Part of getting good at guitar is spending a lot of time playing the instrument. And especially at the beginning, a lot of times we think like, oh, I have to sit down and practice and have my metronome and know what I'm doing and have this whole plan figured out. But really, any time spent with the guitar is good time. You're getting used to feeling it. You're getting used to how far things are apart. You're getting used to what chords feel like. You're developing a touch on the strings. Everything you're doing in the beginning is time well spent. I always encourage noodling. Definitely practice, definitely set aside time to practice, but there is no bad time spent playing the guitar. 5 is play with other musicians even if you're not ready. A lot of times we think, they're so much better than I am, or I can't go to that open mic, or I'm not ready to show somebody what I sound like. But the sooner we can play with other musicians, the sooner we're gonna benefit from learning to play with them. If they have a better time feel than us, they're gonna pull us up and help us have a better time feel. It's one of the best ways to learn how to have a good time feel yourself. If somebody else is just an incredible soloist, backing them up while they play is gonna help you learn things like phrasing and timing and tone. Playing with other musicians is how we can take exponential steps in our guitar playing. So if you can only strum 3 chords, but you know anyone who can play those 3 chords with you, now is the time to start, especially if you feel like you're not ready. Because alone in your room with the metronome, you're never gonna get to a point where you feel like you're ready. The only way to feel ready is to step out and play with some other musicians. If you've gotten any help out of this video, please consider subscribing for more daily guitar lessons, and leave a comment and let me know what you're working on in your practice routine right now. Remember, if you're struggling with bar chords, go to guitargympro.com/bar-chords. There's a link in the description. Get my free video guide on how to play bar chords confidently in about 5 minutes.